My name is Guy Wallace, and I'd like to walk you through an assessment of the support systems and processes of the Training and Development Systems View model from my book, Training and Development Systems View, a book that is now available as a free PDF on my website. More on that later. I created this model or framework in the late 1980s to help me assist my training and development clients become more process-centric in their approaches to their department and how they do business, so that hopefully they would then take a more process-centric approach with their clients and approach their efforts more by learning by design than learning by chance. Learning by design is when the enterprise deliberately moves away from informal learning as their approach for ensuring performance competence for key target audiences in key enterprise processes and value chains. There are two key versions of the Training and Development Systems model. The three levels stacked up, leadership at the top, core in the middle, and support at the foundation. And the other model, the one on the book cover. It's a clock face. And that's what we'll use as we walk through the assessment. Eight o'clock, Training and Development Marketing and Communications System. There are three processes here. 8.1, Training and Development Stakeholder Communications Process. This is the process that determines exactly who the training and development systems stakeholders are and what their needs for information are. And it delivers information and data to each stakeholder via the most effective communications channel. This process informs training and development stakeholders and customers per their needs for information. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process with all process outputs, measures, tasks, roles and responsibilities clearly spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do you have feedback data from surveys or other methods from customers and stakeholders about the adequacy of your communications and suggestions for other information or other communications channels? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Stakeholder groups have had to ask for information that is really viewed as needed to know by both them and by the training and development governance and advisory system. Stakeholder complaints about the lack of information available. Frequently asked questions are not being captured, and then the answers proactively pushed out to like audiences. Surveys discover that training and development target audiences and other stakeholder groups do not understand what's available and how to access it or to participate in it. 8.2, Individual Training and Development Planning Process. This is the process used for planning an individual's training and development plan, but also for compiling, rolling up, locally or enterprise-wide, all of the plans in order to make a demand forecast on the training and development deployment and delivery system for those products that needed to be scheduled. This process plans training and development for an individual. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with all process outputs, measures, tasks, and responsibilities spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do you use these plans as a demand forecast for scheduled training and development? Clues and cues that your process is broken. There are no individual to group to enterprise roll-ups of the training and development participation plans. They are all discrete and not linked. No one has a realistic clue of the future demand for training and development products and services. Training and development seats and sites are underfilled or underutilized for many deployments. 8.3, Training and Development Ordering and Registration Process. This is the process where customers of training and development can place their orders appropriately for the type of training and development product or service offered. This process allows customers to order training and development products. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with all outputs, measures, tasks, and responsibilities spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do you have feedback data from surveys or other methods from customer stakeholders about the process? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Customers complain that their orders are not being filled in a timely manner or are being filled incorrectly. Expediting orders is usually necessary and takes a lot of people's time and attention. 9 o'clock. Training and Development Financial Asset Management System. There are two processes here. 9.1. Organizational Training and Development Plans and Budget Roll-Up and Adjustment Process. This process is where all financial plans and actuals are accumulated for internal review and training and development managerial control, including adjustments throughout the planning period as necessary to the current business situation. This process links with enterprise finance systems for budgeting. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process that's clear? Is the process followed? Do you know the current status of project completion status, total expenditures to date and to plan, contractual and financial obligations into the future, revenue projections, if any? Is it a big problem not to have this data? What issues would it address? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You're not getting timely actuals on financial status and obligations. No one knows where all the training and development assets reside, what their total value is, and if they've been moved, removed, or stolen, and or if they are obsolete. You've received negative feedback from the financial organization regarding training and development's accounting practices and numbers. You're unable to create or use management check ratios to assess performance and status improvement. 9.2. Training and Development Physical Property Management Process. This process accounts for all physical property assets as driven by the enterprise's policies and procedures, as well as federal, state, and local laws, regulations, and codes. This process controls the inventory of assets provided to training and development. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process that's clear and followed? Is it routine or demand-driven? Are resources shifted from lower priorities to more important priorities as determined? Is any of this tracked? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't know the book value and replacement value of your physical assets. You don't know if shrinkage, loss due to theft or negligence, is even an issue. Ten o'clock. Training and Development Human and Environmental Asset Management Systems. There are 11 processes here. 10.1. Training and Development Staff Recruiting and Selection and Succession Process. This process seeks applicants and screens candidates for defined jobs and positions. This process recruits your training and development staff. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process with process outputs, measures, tasks, and responsibilities clearly spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do your hiring and succession planning systems bring in qualified staff to new job openings, requiring only a minimum of training and development on your local specifics? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Your incoming staff members do not have the necessary entry-level knowledge and skills. Incoming staff have widely varying incoming knowledge and skills. Existing staff are frequently not trainable nor cannot be developed to competently meet the process requirements of the training and development systems and processes. Staff complain that the job was not what they expected. Staff are not brought on board in a timely manner. 10.2. Training and Development Staff Training and Development Process. This process assesses the knowledge and skill and develops an individual training development plan for your staff. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process? Is it followed? Do you have training and development for your training and development staff, specific to their job requirements? Is it performance-based? Does it result in a high level of post-training performance capability? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Your critical training and development staff are not as competent as they need to be for knowledge and skill capability. Staff complains about the lack of training and development or a clear path of development for themselves. 10.3. Training and Development Staff Assessment Process. This provides routine and continuous assessment of performance, positive and constructive feedback, negative and constructive feedback, additional development and progression monitoring, progressive discipline, and termination if necessary. This staff appraises training and development staff and conducts performance management. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with all process outputs, measures, tasks, roles, and responsibilities clearly spelled out? Is the process followed? Do you actually use this system to determine feedback requirements and individual development needs? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Performance appraisals and staff evaluations don't happen routinely or as needed, with any quality and consistency. The training and development staff does not know where they stand in management's eyes regarding their competence and performance adequacy. Staff training and development plans are not being driven by these formal assessments, which are driven by the needs of the business. Performance appraisals and criteria are too general and/or do not match the job. 10.4. Training and development staff compensation and benefits process. This process provides total compensation and benefits for all of the permanent employees of the training and development system, and it typically provides only compensation for the outsourced staff. This process establishes pay levels for the training and development staff. Do you have an articulated, documented process with everything clearly spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Does your compensation system balance time and grade with actual demonstrated on-the-job performance? Or do you pay more for time and grade than for demonstrated performance? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. The staff complains about their salary compared to others elsewhere in the training and development world. Pay is uneven across multiple jobs without solid rationale. Turnover is greater than in other areas of the enterprise, and exit interviews indicate that people are leaving due to pay and benefits issues. 10.5. Training and development staff rewards and recognition process. This process provides small monetary and other non-monetary rewards and recognition to the training and development staff, other non-training development staff, and various contributors to the overall training and development effort. This process recognizes and rewards contributions by the training and development staff and others in the enterprise. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated process? Is it followed? Does it seem to motivate? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. No one ever or seldom receives rewards or recognition for jobs well done. The staff feel that the rewards and recognition are being awarded unfairly. 10.6. Training and development organization structural design process. This is the process that designs the organization, the form and structure based on the training and development leadership, core, and support processes in place and the systems, tools, and methods required to render the training and development products and services. This process configures training and development staff jobs and departments. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process for this? Is it followed? Are your training and development jobs the result of a thoughtful design effort, or did they just simply evolve to their current state over time? Do you get complaints about this issue from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Job responsibilities overlap or are gapped. Organization responsibilities overlap or are gapped. Staff, management, and/or customers do not know who does what or who is supposed to do what. 10.7. Training and development facilities development and deployment process. This process builds or acquires and maintains all the facilities, buildings, and grounds needed by training and development. This process houses training and development staff and property. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated process that's followed? Do you have the facilities you need to carry out your planned activities, or are they inadequate? Do any inadequacies have a negative impact on the effectiveness of your training and development offerings? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Your space needs are not being met. Your space is not conducive to what you are doing and how you are doing it. There is no short and or long-term strategically driven view of what those needs are or will be. 10.8 Training and Development Equipment and Tools Development and Deployment Process. This process builds or acquires the training and development tools and equipment required and proven via pilot testing by the research and development effort. This process ensures a successful implementation. This process provides training and development staff and customers and stakeholders with the tools and equipment they need to participate. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process? Is it followed? Do you have the equipment and tools you need to carry out your planned activities, or are they inadequate? Do any inadequacies have a negative impact on the effectiveness of your training and development efforts? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. The equipment and tools required to get the job done are lacking or are otherwise inadequate for the tasks of the processes. There are budget overruns and high costs for outsourcing and for last-minute expediting. 10.9 Training and Development Materials and Supplies Acquisition and Deployment Process. This process acquires and delivers all consumable materials and supplies necessary for training and development operations. It simply provides the materials and supplies. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process? Is it followed? Do you have the materials and supplies you need to carry out your planned activities, or are they inadequate? Do you get complaints about this system from staff or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Materials and supplies constantly run out. Incorrect materials and supplies are ordered and inventoried. Costs paid for materials and supplies often include expediting charges for rush orders. 10.10 Training and Development Information Systems Development and Deployment Process. This process builds or acquires the training and development information technology methods and systems, both hardware and software, that are deemed required and have been proven via pilot testing by training and development's research and development efforts to meet their intended functionality. This process provides data and information to the training and development staff, customers, and stakeholders. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process? Is the process followed? Do you have the information and data systems you need to carry out your planned activities, or are they inadequate? Do you get complaints about this system from the staff or during exit interviews? Do you get complaints from the customers and stakeholders? Clues and cues that your process is broken. The current IT or IS system is inadequate to the tasks, from space, storage size, to speed, and bandwidth. There is no near-term or long-range plan for the IT and IS systems to support training and development. 10.11 Training and Development Methods Deployment Process. The Training and Development Methods Deployment Process builds or acquires the training and development ISD or administrative methods that have been tested and proven by the research and development efforts or are part of the enterprise-wide methods and procedures. This process provides methodology to the training and development staff. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process? Is it followed? Are your methods user-friendly or not? Are they available easily to those needing them? Do you get complaints about this system from staff and or during exit interviews? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't have methods documented for key process performance tasks. Variation in how things are done is causing problems with consistency in quality, cost, or schedule performance. 11 o'clock. Training and Development Research and Development System. There are three processes here. 11.1 Training and Development Methodology and Technology Surveillance Process. This process keeps track of what is going on in the worlds of ISD technology and ISD methodology, as well as with all other elements of the training and development system, such as information technology, information systems, such as learning management systems and learning content management systems, and authoring tools, etc. This process conducts research. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process? Is the process followed? Is the surveillance conducted via journal, document, reference, and web reviews, attendance at conferences and symposiums? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You are not constantly, systematically surveying the marketplace for what's new and what's working. Customers or other leaders in the enterprise are asking you about methodology or technology that you are unaware of. 11.2. Training and development, internal and external benchmarking processes. These processes compare all of the internal training and development organization's processes to a series of benchmarks, comparing internal operations against each other as well as to external organizations in both similar and dissimilar situations. This process conducts benchmarking. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented benchmarking process with all process outputs, tasks, responsibilities spelled out clearly? Is the process followed more often than not? Does the benchmarking effort have pre-specified outcomes, data, and insights to be gained prior to undertaking the effort? Are the lessons learned and insights gained used, and do they have an identifiable impact on the training and development system? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You reinvent systems, processes, or products that already exist. You start development or improvement efforts with only the old model and a blank sheet in front of you, instead of having several new models borrowed from elsewhere. 11.3. Training and development methodology and technology pilot testing processes. These processes bring in the newfangled stuff found in the other two research and development processes and deliberately play with it and test it. This process tests new products, technology, and methodology. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process that's clear? Is it followed? Does this process primarily generate fact-based data or opinion-based data? Does this testing result, at times, in significant changes to the final methodology or technology being tested? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Things get implemented without testing, resulting in scheduling and cost issues and reduced return on investment. You never pilot test new methods, techniques, tools, etc. Too many things have been implemented in the past that just haven't worked out as well as first thought. Well, that's it in the podcast nutshell, so to speak. This was intended as an overview of the Training and Development Systems View model at the support level, prior to or using the book to guide your assessments deeper. The book, Training and Development Systems View, is available as a free PDF on my website at www.eppic.biz. That's epic with two P's, .biz. And you can reach me, Guy Wallace, via the website as well. I hope that you have found this informational. Have a great day.